Okay, so I'm going to be installing these pass-throughs on my razor. This comes with this little cutout, whatever, template. And it tells you, line up the center of the star to right there. So I did, and then line up the center line with this one. Taped it on. You have to cut this out first yourself, so my cutting job kind of sucks. But I was a little conservative because I can always go wider after when I'm cutting it. I used a Sharpie, paint Sharpie, to paint on here. And it says to drill holes in here, lots of holes, and then use a razor blade to cut it out. I'm going to try to use So this Dremel bit took a long time. I'm just going to fast forward it a little and so you can watch some of it. I did end up changing the Dremel bit so it cut a little faster. So lesson learned, don't use a Dremel, it takes forever. I'm going to use a hot knife on my next one and see if that is any faster. I had to widen it considerably because I cut it too narrow and it just took a lot of time. I thought I'd try it out. I did not have a hot knife or a razor blade, so I saw this trick on the internet. You heat up the end of a paper clip that you tied to a lighter or whatever, and it melts right through the foam. It did work really well, very clean cut. However, my lighter started not working, and this ended up not being a super great thing. It's also very time consuming. So I ended up just going and finding one of my pocket knives that was kind of sharpened, and the shape of the knife was too tall or wide, and so I couldn't get in the corners, and it made a huge mess, little foam shavings all over. The directions, it says you need to cut through this seam. I didn't feel comfortable cutting through those two seams. It felt like it would just make the fabric much weaker. So I cut up to the seam and then just pushed the other insert or stretched the fabric so that I could fit the insert in.